Sometimes all it takes is a clean kitchen to feel like life is back on track. But when the dishes pile up and countertops get cluttered, it can feel overwhelming, especially when your energy isn't what it used to be. The good news? You don't need hours or fancy tools to get results. Just a few focused actions can turn chaos into calm. Whether you're cleaning after a big meal or just need a quick refresh, these tips are designed to help you clean smarter, not harder. Ready to feel proud of your kitchen again without the stress? 1. Start with a 5-minute surface sweep. The first step in any fast kitchen cleanup is not to dive into scrubbing or organizing. It's to pause, breathe, and begin with what I call the 5-minute surface sweep. Why? Because our eyes and our minds need to see progress quickly. It's motivating. It builds momentum. And it gives you control over the space without exhausting you right from the start. So here's what to do. Set a timer for 5 minutes. That's it. No more. Start by clearing off the most visible surfaces, the countertops, the stovetop, and the kitchen table if you have one. Don't get bogged down by scrubbing yet. Right now, the goal is just to remove obvious clutter, empty cups, dirty plates, mail, keys, crumbs, wrappers, anything that doesn't belong there. As you pick things up, don't worry about where everything goes. Keep it simple. Create 3 piles or use 3 bins if you like, 1 for dishes, 1 for trash, and 1 for items that belong somewhere else. Don't fuss. Just move quickly and confidently. Why does this work so well? Because our brains crave order, but they get overwhelmed by mess. This 5-minute sweep resets the space visually and emotionally. It tells your mind, this is manageable. You've started. You're moving forward. And it didn't take much. Even if you stop after just this one step, you'll already feel a change. The room feels lighter. You feel more in control. And often, the simple act of beginning is what gives you the energy to keep going. It's not about perfection. It's about progress. Start with the surface sweep and suddenly, what felt heavy starts to feel possible. 2. Load the dishwasher or fill the sink with soapy water. Once the visible surfaces are clear, it's time to deal with the dishes, the quiet clutter that builds up slowly and steals your peace of mind. But instead of looking at the mountain and thinking, I have to wash all of this, let's break it into something far more gentle and far more achievable. If you have a dishwasher, your next move is simple. Load it. Quickly. Don't aim for perfection, aim for progress. Stack the plates, cups, and utensils without overthinking their placement. You can always adjust it later before turning it on. The key here is motion, not mastery. As you move, think of it as a reset button for your kitchen. You're reclaiming order, one piece at a time. Now, if you don't have a dishwasher, or if you've run out of space, no problem. Fill your sink, or a large basin, with warm, soapy water. Let the dishes soak. That's it. Let them sit for now. You're not scrubbing yet. You're softening the resistance, literally and metaphorically. Because once something soaks for a few minutes, it becomes easier to clean. But more importantly, it buys you time. You've taken action, and that alone builds momentum. There's something powerful in that sound of water running into the sink. It tells your brain that things are changing. That even the most mundane task can be transformed into a moment of calm. And if you're doing this late in the day, it can be oddly soothing, almost meditative. You've created a little rhythm, a signal to yourself that you're moving forward. Remember, you're not racing the clock. You're guiding the room back into harmony. Whether it's the hum of the dishwasher or the warmth of soapy water on your hands, this step is not just about cleaning. It's about reclaiming your space, quietly, gently, without overwhelm. 3. Wipe down high-touch surfaces first. Now that you've cleared the clutter and the dishes are either soaking or spinning in the dishwasher, it's time to bring a bit of polish back into the room, both figuratively and literally. This third step is all about wiping down the high-touch surfaces. The places where hands, crumbs, spills, and splashes tend to gather. But don't let that word wipe fool you. This isn't about deep sanitizing or scrubbing grout lines with a toothbrush. This is fast, visible, and soothing. You're choosing impact over perfection. Start with the places you touch the most: your countertop edges, the handles of cabinets and drawers, the stove knobs, the refrigerator door, and yes, the kitchen faucet itself. These are the small, silent mess makers. We use them every day without even thinking about it, and they accumulate fingerprints, grease, and unseen smudges before we realize it. Grab a damp microfiber cloth or a paper towel with a splash of gentle all-purpose cleaner. Or just warm, soapy water if you prefer something simple and scent-free. The goal is to swipe across these surfaces, not to scrub them endlessly, but to refresh them. You'll be surprised how much of a difference this makes. As you move your cloth from one surface to the next, something almost magical happens. The kitchen starts to feel cared for. And in a subtle way, so do you. This isn't just about hygiene. It's about restoring order, one swipe at a time. Think of this like washing your face at the end of a long day. A quiet gesture that says, I'm still here. I'm still taking care. That same calm can live in your kitchen. If you have energy, move to the next section. If not, pause. Even this step alone brings a sense of peace. You're tending to your space, and your space, in turn, is starting to breathe again. 4. Tidy one trouble spot. Just one. At this point, your kitchen is beginning to look more like itself again. The surfaces are clearer. The dishes are soaking or cleaned. The most touched areas are wiped down. Now it's time to focus on just one trouble spot. Not the whole room. Not every drawer. Just one. What do I mean by a trouble spot? It's that area you tend to avoid with your eyes. The junk drawer that barely closes. The corner of the counter with unopened mail. The section near the coffee maker where used pods or empty sugar packets collect. The pile of reusable grocery bags slumped in the corner. Every kitchen has one. And here's the secret. You don't need to tackle it all. Just choose one. One spot. One pile. One drawer. Give it 5 to 7 minutes of focused care. Start by removing everything from that space. Take a quick glance. What can be thrown out? What can be put back in neatly? What belongs somewhere else entirely? Often, these spaces are cluttered not because we're messy, but because life moves fast and these areas become holding zones for decisions we haven't had time to make. The goal here is not to organize your whole kitchen. It's to reclaim one zone, one breath of order. And here's the beauty of this step, it creates a ripple. When you see that one spot cleaned and cleared, your catch-all bowl, your coffee nook, that drawer you've dreaded, it builds confidence. It's like making your bed in the morning. Small but deeply satisfying. That tiny win reminds you that change is possible. We're not trying to finish the kitchen. We're simply choosing one space to say, I care. I'm present. And I'm creating calm where there once was chaos. 5. Clean the sink, restore the heart of the kitchen. Now we turn to one of the most symbolic spots in your kitchen, the sink. It's more than a basin for water and dishes. It's the quiet center of the room. The heart. And when it's dirty, it sends a message. There's still work to do. But when it's clean, it signals closure, peace, a fresh beginning. So now that your dishes are out or soaking and your counters are clearer, take just a few minutes to give your sink some gentle care. Not a deep scrub, not a harsh chemical treatment. Just a simple cleanse that leaves it gleaming, refreshed, and ready for tomorrow. Start by rinsing out any leftover food particles or soap residue. Use a small sponge or dishcloth, whatever you have handy. Add a bit of dish soap or even a splash of baking soda for a natural polish. Gently scrub around the edges, the drain, and especially the faucet area where grime often builds up unnoticed. If your sink is stainless steel, wiping it down with a dry cloth after rinsing can bring out a shine that feels like a small reward. If it's porcelain or enamel, a little vinegar and baking soda can lift off stains without effort. Again, this isn't about perfection. It's about care. And while you're there, consider this. The act of cleaning the sink is often the signal that your work is done. It's the kitchen's version of turning out the lights. It tells your mind, I've done enough today. And sometimes that's the message we need to hear the most. A clean sink is a visual anchor. It reminds you that no matter how chaotic the day may have been, there's always a way to bring things back to center. So take your time. Tend to it gently. And when it's done, step back. Feel that breath of peace. You've taken one more step toward restoring balance in your space. 6. Sweep the floor, a small act that grounds the whole room. At first glance, sweeping might seem like one of those chores you can save for later. But here's the truth. The floor holds the final word. It's the canvas of the kitchen, the surface we stand on, the path we walk, and the foundation under every step we take. And when it's covered in crumbs, dirt, or pet hair, it sends a quiet message that something's still unfinished. So take a broom, or a small handheld vacuum if you prefer, and spend just a few minutes giving the floor some care. You don't have to move the furniture. You don't have to be precise. You're not prepping for a dinner party. You're just gathering the dust of the day and letting it go. Start with the visible areas, the spaces around the island, the entry points, under the table if you have one. Then glide your way toward the corners where debris tends to gather. You'll be amazed how much lighter a room feels when those forgotten corners are tended to, even briefly. This act, as simple as it is, does more than clean. It grounds you. There's something deeply calming about the rhythm of sweeping. It's almost meditative. A few soft strokes of the broom, the quiet tap of dust meeting the pan. It brings you into the present, into your body, into a sense of stillness you may not have realized you were craving. And when the floor is clean, even if everything else isn't perfect, it gives the whole room a lift. The light hits it differently. Your feet glide more freely. And you, whether you notice it or not, begin to move through the space with more ease. Sometimes it's not about achieving a sparkling finish. It's about creating a foundation that feels cared for. Clean enough to breathe. Clear enough to rest. 7. Take out the trash. Clear the air. Clear your mind. The moment you remove the trash from the kitchen, something subtle yet powerful happens. The space exhales. The energy shifts. The lingering smells, the weight of old scraps, the silent clutter hiding in the corner, it all disappears. And what's left is lightness, clarity, and a deep, quiet sense of closure. This is why step 7 is so important. Taking out the trash is more than a chore. It's a ritual. It's the physical act of saying, I've let go of what I no longer need. And that feeling of release, of renewal, matters far more than we often realize. Start by tying up your main trash bag, even if it's not completely full. Why? Because often the small odors or the visual clutter can drain your energy without you knowing it. If you have recycling, sort it now. Paper, plastic, glass. A quick sort takes just a few minutes, but brings a lasting sense of order. As you carry the bag out, whether to the bin in the garage or the can by the curb, take notice of how you feel. Lighter? Less weighed down? That's no accident. It's not just trash you're carrying out. It's stress. It's yesterday's crumbs and noise. And when you return, the room feels different. Fresher. More spacious. Once the trash is out, take a moment to wipe down the bin itself if needed. Just a quick swipe inside or around the lid. It doesn't need to be spotless. Just cared for. Because a clean trash can mean the next time you drop something in, it won't be into a space that feels forgotten. In a way, this step is about dignity. Dignity for your space. Dignity for your effort. Even this small act can be one of quiet self-respect. So don't underestimate it. Taking out the trash clears more than just the bin. It clears the atmosphere. It opens a window inside the room and sometimes inside you. 8. Refresh with a clean dish towel and a centerpiece. Now that the clutter is gone, the surface is wiped, the sink sparkling, and the trash out, it's time to breathe new life into your kitchen with a subtle but powerful final touch. A clean dish towel and a simple centerpiece. Why this step? Because once the heavy lifting is done, our minds crave beauty, not extravagance. Just a moment of calm elegance, a reminder that this space doesn't just serve us, it nurtures us. And like any room in the home, the kitchen deserves a closing ritual. This is that moment. Start with the dish towel. Take the old one, the one that's damp or stained or tossed carelessly near the sink, and replace it with a clean, dry towel. Smooth it out gently. Drape it over the handle of the oven or fold it neatly by the sink. This simple gesture sends a clear message. This space is reset. We are ready for a new day. Now look to your table or countertop. Find a small centerpiece. Nothing fancy. A bowl of fresh fruit. a small vase with water and 2 flowers, a candle, even an empty wooden bowl that catches the morning light. Choose something that feels clean, centered, and alive. Place it with care, not as a decoration, but as a focal point. A pause in the room. A breath. This step matters more than you might think. Because when you enter your kitchen tomorrow, that fresh towel and quiet centerpiece will greet you. They'll say, "You took care of this space. You took care of yourself." It's not about impressing anyone. It's about creating beauty for you. A reminder that order and grace can be found in the smallest of gestures. That even after a long day or a messy week, you still have the power to reset your environment and your mood. 9. Light a scent or let in fresh air. Engage the senses. Now comes the moment when you transform your kitchen from clean to comforting. The room is orderly, the chaos is gone, but the energy? That's something we can elevate. And one of the most powerful ways to do that is through scent and fresh air. You see, our sense of smell is deeply tied to emotion and memory. A clean kitchen looks good, but it feels extraordinary when it smells good too. So here's the invitation. Either light a gentle scent or open a window. Let your space exhale. Let it feel alive again. If you enjoy scents, choose something soft and natural. A lavender candle, a citrus diffuser, a few drops of essential oil like lemon, rosemary, or eucalyptus in a small dish of warm water. Light it. Breathe it in. Let the room shift. But if scent isn't your style, there's another option: fresh air. Crack a window. Even for just 5 minutes. Let the outside in, the breeze, the birdsong, even just the change in temperature. That movement of air clears more than dust. It shifts the atmosphere. It says this space has been cared for. Now let it breathe. This step may seem small, almost optional. But don't skip it, because it marks the emotional close of your cleanup. It turns routine into ritual. It brings the invisible into focus, how the room feels, not just how it looks. Sometimes all it takes is the scent of something fresh to make you pause, smile, and feel proud of what you've done. And sometimes that open window becomes a reminder, life is still moving and so are you. So light the candle, open the pane, or simply stand there for a moment and let the air wash over you. You've brought the room back to life. And maybe, just maybe, you've done the same for yourself. 10. Step back, smile, and acknowledge the shift. You've done it. The last crumb has been swept, the scent has filled the air, and the room is quiet again. But before you walk away, pause. This final step isn't about cleaning. It's about recognition. About claiming what you just accomplished, even if it didn't feel monumental while you were doing it. So here's what I invite you to do: step back. Literally, take 2 or 3 steps out of the kitchen doorway. Turn around. Look at the room. Really look. Notice the clean sink, the towel, the calm counter, the floor with no clutter, the stillness. And then, just for a moment, smile. Not because it's perfect. Not because it's magazine-worthy, but because it's yours. And because you showed up for it. For yourself. We often finish tasks and immediately move on to the next one. We cross things off our list but rarely give ourselves the grace of celebration. But this kitchen you've cared for? It's more than a room. It's the heartbeat of the home. It holds your meals, your memories, your everyday moments. And now it holds your effort. Maybe you didn't think you'd have the energy today. Maybe you only plan to clear a few dishes. But here you are with a space that feels fresh, orderly, and peaceful. That deserves acknowledgement. So stand there for a beat longer. Let your body feel what your mind might overlook: the satisfaction of completion, the steadiness that comes from turning chaos into calm, the quiet dignity of caring for your space with kindness. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to My Reboot for more practical, uplifting guidance that meets you right where you are. Your support helps us reach others who are on the same journey toward clarity, calm, and confidence.